Hey team, so today we're going to go over shoulder impingement, and this is something that affects a lot of individuals because shoulder impingement itself is the most common form of shoulder pain that people get. So let's just kind of dig deeper so we have more of an understanding of what is shoulder impingement. Is it the rotator cuff? Is it the scapular muscles? Is it neck pain? Is it deep in the shoulder like a labrum? What is shoulder impingement? So let's go ahead and I'm going to start with sharing my screen, and we're going to look at this muscle overall. So if we look here and you're looking at all the muscles on the back, so this is actually the back of the body looking forward, and this is the most superficial part of the muscles themselves here. This over here is the deep muscles. So if we just look superficially, this is the muscles that you see on the back: the trapezius, the upper trapezius, the lower trapezius, again, as it says off to the side, the latissimus, and then also superficially is the deltoid. What does all that mean? Forget about it. It doesn't really matter at this point. Just know that those muscles are superficial, but they're important in helping with shoulder impingement. If we look over here, we've always talked about rotator cuff, or my patients love to say rotary cuff. Rotary cuff. So what they're really talking about are the rotator cuff muscles. So these are the rotator cuff muscles: supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major. So this one right on top, this supraspinatus, is the most common injured muscle when we're talking about shoulder impingement. And as you can see, the muscle, again, on the back of the shoulder, up on the shoulder blade up here, it goes through here and underneath, and this is actually the collarbone right here. It goes underneath the collarbone, underneath the end of the bones here, and it dives down into the front of the shoulder. So if right here, right in front of the shoulder, you're going to start getting impingement, and that impingement really means pinching. It's really a pinching that occurs from two different bones. So just know that the rotator cuff is really four muscles, but the most common one is the supraspinatus. So let's dig a little deeper. So here is now a front view. So this is a front view. This is the shoulder blade. Normally there's pec muscles through here, and that's right on the front. You have your chest cavity, so you have all of your ribs that are in the front here. So what it's really showing is just the shoulder blade and then the humerus, the long bone of the shoulder. And the whole purpose of this is to show you that this supraspinatus muscle that's normally up here, that sits in this little fossa kind of behind the neck muscle, and it goes underneath into the joint. So you can see that there's just a little bit of space from the top of the humeral head to the acromion that's here, and that muscle is going to come down and insert right into the front. But why does this matter? In order for the shoulder to work properly, so in order to lift my arm up overhead, a couple things have to occur. These are mechanical things. So one is you have to have these three muscles firing properly. So what we're looking here is the deltoid, the supraspinatus, and then this is the subscapularis, infraspinatus, teres minor. Well, what do we know about those? Well, look at here. On the lower part of the back part of the shoulder blade, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major. Again, let's look at these. Subscapularis, infraspinatus, teres minor. So these two are on the back of the shoulder blade. So what is this subscapularis? Well, that subscapularis actually sits on the undersurface of the shoulder blade, between the shoulder blade and your ribs. So it sits in there, and it actually comes and wraps into the front. So when it wraps into the front, what you're essentially getting is a force couple. So what's a force couple? That means that when the subscapularis and the teres minor and infraspinatus fire together, it actually pulls your humeral head down, and that's what that slide means. It helps slide it down. This infraspinatus and the deltoid, so the deltoid, again, let's take a look. Deltoid is the thick one on the front, and you can see that if this muscle fires and just contracts this way, it's just going to start lifting the arm out to the side. The supraspinatus is right on top and inserts right here, so it's going to help also lift the arm up to the side. So if you can see from this, the deltoid is going to help initiate, get that movement going, same as the infraspinatus help get that movement going. And then as it comes up, these muscles work together on both sides of the joint and fire and pull it down. So why does this matter? Why does this matter to shoulder impingement? Well, if you have one of these muscles in your rotator cuff that's not firing properly, you're not going to get a good force couple. So this isn't going to slide down as this comes up, and it's going to pinch between the humeral head, so the long bone of the upper arm, and then the top, the roof. And you're going to get a pinching that occurs to that rotator cuff, that supraspinatus tendon. So that's one way that you can get shoulder impingement. And you see it because at the top of your range, if it's not allowing that to glide properly, you're going to get pinch, 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 pinch that occurs at the top of your range. The second thing that it can occur that can come from shoulder impingement is the scapular muscles, so the shoulder blade muscles. If those aren't properly functioning as well, such as here, you're not going to get another great force couple that helps bring the arm up overhead. So let me explain. Here is your shoulder blade. The shoulder blade itself has the upper trapezius, the lower trapezius, and the serratus anterior all attached to it. When these all fire together, so the upper trapezius, the lower trapezius, and the serratus anterior, when they all fire together, it helps your arm lift out to the side up overhead. So what's the serratus anterior? Wow, that sounds like a funky one. I've never even heard of that one. Maybe you've heard about the trapezius, but the serratus anterior actually sits on the ribs here, and it goes to the undersurface of your shoulder blade. So if you're ever doing push-ups, a bunch of push-ups, and you get sore right along the ribs in under the armpit in there, it's your serratus anterior that's firing. It's trying to stabilize that shoulder blade against the chest wall. So just know that this right here, also that muscle along the ribs that you get really tender, that also affects the upward rotation of the shoulder blade. So the serratus anterior, the upper trapezius, the lower trapezius all fire. And the reason that's needed is because my movement from 0 to about 120 is about all that my shoulder is actually going to do itself. Anything beyond that requires the shoulder blade to assist. So the shoulder blade has to turn and rotate, or what we call it, upward rotation. It has to rotate upwardly, so then my shoulder blade will allow my shoulder to keep going up, 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 up. If the shoulder blade is restricted or these muscles aren't firing properly, it's going to get stuck in here, and it's just going to pull, pull, pull. And what do you get? You get a malfunctioning arm. You get the deltoid trying to fire really hard and the upper trapezius trying to fire really hard, but you're not going to get any rotation that occurs to the shoulder blade. So what you get are individuals that get this shoulder hump, and you'll see it with a failed rotator cuff or a very sore shoulder. You see this shoulder elevation because the upper trapezius and the deltoid are both trying to fire to lift that arm up, but it's not going. Because we need upward rotation. We need the shoulder blade to glide that arm out to the side. So I've given you two reasons that we get shoulder impingement. One can be from the rotator cuff, those muscles not firing properly. So all of these not gliding and rolling properly and firing at a time sequence to allow your arm to come up overhead. Or it could be related to the force couple to the shoulder blade itself. So why does this occur? Well, you can get shoulder impingement from assortment of issues. You could have slept wrong with your arm up overhead and it created some irritation. You could have been lifting a bunch overhead. You could have been working a bunch overhead. Any of these can cause mild trauma to that supraspinatus as it comes up underneath. And once you start getting some irritation, that irritation, it makes the tendon really hyper aware. And you really only have about 1 millimeter of space in underneath for your tendon to go through. So after your tendon goes through, there's about 1 millimeter extra. So if we do anything that causes swelling, causes tightness to the shoulder capsule, any of the stuff that messes up the force couple, it's going to create impingement to that tendon. And then we get that sharp pain on the front of the arm. We get that dull ache later on at night when it just won't stop hurting in the front. So what we would look to do is we look to determine, why are you getting a breakdown? Why are you getting shoulder impingement? Was it a one-time trauma? So we need to rest more. Is it related to faulty mechanics, to your force couple, to the shoulder blade, or to the rotator cuff? If it's one or the other, we might need to address them and work on it. Is it due to a tight, restricted capsule? If the capsule is tight as well, it's not going to slide, roll, and glide the way that you need to. So overall, what we're really looking to do is we're looking to see how this impacts your shoulder and what's the best treatment solution to make it better. Is it a force couple? Is it a muscle issue? Is it a rotator cuff issue? Is it a room issue, meaning that your capsule is tight? So overall, thanks for watching the whole video today. Hopefully the slides that I showed you with the different muscles gives you an idea of why you're getting shoulder impingement and what to do about it. So at this point, if you're looking to say, man, I got shoulder pain, I don't know what to do about it, and you need some assistance, well, hit our button anywhere on our websites or any of our areas. Leave a message in our comments that just says, hey, I'd like one of your discovery visits. And our discovery visits are designed for individuals that aren't sure if we're a clinic that can assist in your shoulder health, in helping your shoulder problem. And maybe you're thinking, I don't even know what you can do, and I don't even know if you could even help me. Well, if that's the case, then feel free to set up our free, no cost, no hassle, no insurance, no referral needed discovery visit, just to see if we're the right clinic that can help you. So again, thanks for watching this video. If you like this one or others, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'd love to get your comments and any of your feedback from this video or any other videos in the past or the future. So again, thanks for watching and have a great day.